So today we're going to be talking about a character that potentially is the strongest character in all of Marvel. And of course, we're talking about Mister Immortal. His real name is Craig Hollis, and he is published out of Marvel Comics, and he is the leader of the Great Lakes Avengers. This character was created by John Byrne, and he first appeared in the West Coast Avengers number 46 of July 1989. Now, starting out with this character, the cosmic entity Death Urge first appeared to Craig shortly after his birth and the death of his mother, who made Death Urge promise that he would look after Craig. Now, Craig would dub Death Urge the Urge, and the two became best friends. His father believed Death Urge to be an imaginary friend, even after Craig's numerous forays into apparently dangerous behavior, such as playing in traffic, which were urged on by Death Urge. And on Craig's 8th birthday, Death Urge goaded Craig into setting his house on fire and then hiding under it as it burned. Now, in this case, the event actually unalives his father. Now, Death Urge stopped visiting Craig afterwards, and Craig was moved to a new home. His foster father, Mr. O'Doulin, was an abusive man, although Craig became close to his foster sister, Terry, with the two eventually falling in love as adults. This ended with Terry unaliving herself, prompting the return of Death Urge. The grief-stricken Craig begged Death Urge to take him as well as Terry, but Death Urge refused and departed again. Craig attempted the first of a large number of unalive attempts by jumping off a building, only to discover that with this and subsequent attempts and using other methods, that he simply just could not die. Now, with this ability that he just finds out that he has, he takes on the codename Mister Immortal. In his first outing as a superhero trying to foil a bank robbery, Mister Immortal is shot and left for dead. He decides that forming a team would probably allow him to apply his abilities a little bit more usefully. Now, after placing an ad, he founds the Great Lakes Avengers, which is a regional offshoot of the Avengers, and they're based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Immortal ends up being their leader. Now, its other founding members include Flatman, Doorman, Big Bertha, Dinah, Soar, and Leatherboy. Although he is given to fits of rage upon regaining consciousness following otherwise fatal injuries, his teammate and sometimes lover, Dinah Soar, can utter vocalizations that can calm him down. On account of his immortality, he often engages in life-endangering stunts, and is invariably willing to take the deadliest aspects of any missions, which he does brazenly, and at one point taunting an armed gunman by saying, "All you're threatening me with is death, and dying is what I do best." It's also a cause for depression, in particular on occasions when someone close to him dies. The team first encounters the Avengers when they're lured into the Germania building by Hawkeye and Mockingbird, who become their mentors. They help Hawkeye and the West Coast Avengers against that which endures. They also assist Mockingbird in a holding action against Terminus. After aiding the Thunderbolts against the villain Graviton, the team clashes with the mercenary Deadpool. Now, later on, Mister Immortal would develop a loving relationship with his teammate, Dinah Soar, as he was also the only one that could understand her language. It is revealed that they are soulmates, and he was her ageless love, as she herself also possessed a degree of immortality. In the 2004 Avengers Disassembled storyline, Craig comes close to quitting the team, but changes his mind by the end of that storyline. In their following outing against Maelstrom, Dinah Soar is unalived and Death Urge appears to take her away to the afterlife, truly terminating his and Mister Immortal's former friendship. Mr. Immortal would meet Death Urge again at Dinosaur's funeral, where Death Urge expressed his regret, showing that he had truly come to love Mr. Immortal like a son. Mr. Immortal, however, is enraged at Death Urge, having taken away all that Mr. Immortal had ever cared about, and attacks Death Urge, but to no avail. Craig then falls into a deep depression, repeatedly getting drunk and unaliving himself inside GLA headquarters while wearing a dinosaur costume, as the others watched. He is later once again unalived by Leather Boy, who infiltrates the team headquarters disguised as Dr. Doom and unalives Monkey Joe, Squirrel Girl's sidekick. Now, Mr. Immortal is able to return the favor when Death Urge appears to take away Monkey Joe to the afterlife in the form of a squirrel, leaving him in a vulnerable state. Death Urge then revealed to Mr. Immortal what his actual destiny in life was: to basically outlive everyone that has ever existed ever and ever will exist, and he is the one and only true immortal of the entire multiverse. The universe is a large machine, and that machine will hold a grand secret that will reveal itself at the end of all things. In addition, revealing Mr. Immortal to not be either Homo sapien or Homo superior, but rather Homo supreme, a being that has evolved past death itself, making him the ultimate human. Death Urge, by taking away some of his loved ones, tried to prepare Mr. Immortal so that he could truly live out his destiny, but this is jeopardized by the supervillain Maelstrom, who threatens to destroy the entire universe. This gives Mr. Immortal a new incentive to live, and he sets out to stop Maelstrom and save the universe. The GLA confront Maelstrom, who in the course of the conflict unalives himself. The GLA, however, gain no recognition, and circumstances force them to cease using the Avengers name altogether. After discovering that they were all mutants, the team decides to change their name to the Great Lakes X-Men and adopt new costumes. Now, as far as Mr. Immortal's powers and abilities, he is a mutant with the power of immortality, which allows his body to regenerate from an injury faster than maybe even Wolverine or even Deadpool. Although injuries that are sufficiently traumatic appear to unalive him, at least initially, his regenerative power causes him to return back to life in anywhere from 10 minutes to seconds. This rapid healing manifests itself only in response to a nominally fatal injury. When non-fatally injured, he heals at a normal human rate, though such injuries tend to rapidly heal the next time he dies. This ability seems to be an unconscious one, since he's tried to unalive himself on numerous occasions, only to walk away unscathed afterwards. He has recovered from being shot, suffocated, stabbed, drowned, crushed, starved, dehydrated, exploded, poisoned, decapitated, irradiated, and incinerated. Upon revival, he is often extremely enraged due to the pain of death. During Dinosaur's tenure as his teammate, she could utter a vocalization inaudible to humans that could bring him out of this state, which Flatman speculated is hypersonic in nature. Another cool feature and ability of this character is that Mr. Immortal's body does not age. While most mutants' powers manifest at adolescence, Mr. Immortal's ability didn't become apparent until he first attempted unaliving himself. He regained consciousness minutes after, only to find that he was alive and fully healed. Now, Death Urge explains to him that he is a mutant, but he is a Homo sapien superior, not the traditional subspecies of mutant who has simply taken the next step of evolution, but he is rather the final step in all of human evolution, which is a man who has evolved past death itself. Death Urge also explains to him that he will be around until the end of the universe and be the only one whom his final secret will be revealed. Forget Galactus, he'll be left in the dust by this guy. Forget the Watchers, forget all the characters in all of Marvel. Maybe even Eternity himself. This character will outlast all of those characters. We think this character is a boatload of laughs. He is almost comparable to Deadpool or even maybe Ambush Bug over at DC. And we're glad that we can have characters that are wacky but also supremely powerful. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night, a good morning, a good night, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of this video, as well as maybe write down a character that you would like us to work on here on this channel, and we'll see if we can't make a video for you. As always, Excelsior.